then you might be able to, like, also depending whether you're in the medical profession.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes as a medical profession or as an accountant, you can get away with just having 10% and you don't pay lender's mortgage insurance. There are
Really?
some lenders that will allow you to borrow up to 90% without paying lender's mortgage insurance. Okay.
Every year, thousands of people migrate to other countries in search for a better life.
Each one with a story to tell of courage and determination.
Adjusting to a new country is not that easy.
Here at Migrant Tribe, we honor you.
So join us as we share our stories from our journey down under.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Migrant Tribe. Stories from our journey down under, episode 32. So together with me is John. Hey, John. How you doing? John?
I'm good.
Good. That's good to hear. Okay, so today we'll be talking about to prepare to buy your first home. So for those people out there who are considering or in the process of buying your first home, especially here in Victoria, so we've invited a broker. He's been in the financial brokering scene since 2003. He's the lending broker for the Project Financial Services. So I'd like to introduce to you Joel Sanchez. Hi, Joel. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you, Joseph, for inviting me here to join your podcast. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Tribe. Yes, thank you.
Tribe.
So let's just dive into it. So,
I
you've
would
been
like
in the
to
industry
introduce
for
myself first off, Joseph and John. No, good evening. I'm Joel Sanchez. I came from Manila. I've been in Melbourne since 2008. I was with ANZ Mobile Lending. I was a franchise owner for more than 10 years.
Mhm.
And recently, I moved out of ANZ and set up the financial services. Now, there are a lot of laws and regulations which differ across the different states of Australia. And what John, and Joseph has invited me to do will be to discuss with you the process of buying property in Victoria. So in that regard, there are a lot of topics in that, and then we may not be able to share everything tonight, but I'm happy to come back and discuss in more detail some of the aspects and the questions you might have going forward. Yeah.
Yep, definitely. Yep. Okay. So, so walk us through.
Um, Joseph, buying a property in Victoria now more than ever feels like it's out of reach, no?
Yes.
Latest
If you watch
data.
the news, yes, that's
Yeah.
the message you're getting.
Yeah.
Ridiculously high value.
Yes. I know. And the latest data from the government shows that the medium house price in metropolitan Melbourne increased by 40% since 2012. Now, in regional Victoria, it's more surprising because it increased by 49%, almost 50% since 2012. No? Um, Having said that, I can discuss all the parameters of buying a house, but I think there are a lot of things you should consider because buying a house would be one's biggest decision in life.
Yep.
If you're going to borrow money to buy a car, yes, it could be $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. If you go to the more luxurious cars,
Mhm.
you may even borrow something like 80,000, 90,000, 100,000. But buying a property is maybe 5 to 6 times that amount, no? A luxury priced vehicle. So you have to do your due diligence and really come up with a plan and research because it's most probably the biggest decision in your life, no? So things to consider in buying property, no? You sort out your finances. What do I mean by that? Work on your budget, see how much you can afford to repay every week. Now, I have a calculator which I can send to you, Joseph and John,
Yep.
which will detail, it will assist the buyers in determining their budgets. How much do I pay by every week? How much is my income and how much are my expenses on a per week or on a per month basis? Kasi minsan hindi natin, are we able to speak in Tagalog or just English here?
International,
We've got leeway,
international
but yeah.
audience. Yeah.
Yeah. So in fact, there are a lot of things that we do not consider, like dog food, like
Food, okay.
yes, if you have a pet and you spend something on your pet like $50-$60 a month, and you wouldn't even put that down as part of your budget, you go and your streaming services, for instance. I've got a Netflix subscription, it's $17. All of these things add up.
Yep.
So the calculator that I will be sending to
Yep.
you will determine, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that I will spend this much and my income is this much. You order Uber for delivery
Yep.
to your house once or twice a week. And if there are 4 people in your household, that's already at $10 per person, that's already $40, $80 a month that you don't even think about. And sometimes you're wondering, where did my money go? So these are the things that you have to do. So list down all of the income and expenses. So one way of doing this is to look at your bank account. Because most of us use tap and go, right?
Yep.
So in the tap and go, it's so easy to spend money. You just tap and go. Your morning coffees every day, $4, $5 every day. That's a lot of money when you put it, when you compute that over a period of 1 month.
One
Okay.
month, yes.
Yeah. So these are the things that you have to consider. And on a Friday night, I'll go to my local bottle shop and buy a bottle of wine or something like that. And these are the things that you do not really think about because, I'd like to relax on a Friday night and get myself and my wife a bottle of wine. So these are the things that you have to look at. Okay. Number 2, once you have established your monthly budget and you consider your expenses on a per monthly basis, you have to save for a deposit. You have to have a savings goal.
Yep.
And without a goal, just like driving a car, we're going to Caroline Springs, for instance. How do you get there? You use a GPS. You have to know where you're going. In terms of finances, you have to have a savings goal. Because if you don't have a goal and you just we'll put this money aside without thinking of the end goal at the end, then you're not going anywhere. Because you'll come. I've got 10,000 or 15,000 or 20,000 in savings. Let's go travel to the Philippines, or right now it's impossible. But let's go back to let's have a holiday in Queensland or in Tasmania. Let's get 5,000 from there, from our savings. Then that takes you back again from your savings goal. You have to establish that goal and you have to stick with it. Now, saving for a deposit is normally 20% of the purchase price.
Yep.
With 20% deposit, you do not pay lender's mortgage insurance. And I can go and I can talk about lender's mortgage insurance in more detail later. But lender's mortgage insurance, if you borrow more than 80% of the property value, then you pay lender's mortgage insurance. There are now some lenders who have increased to 85%, which is great. And depending on your circumstance, then you might be able to, also depending whether you're in the medical profession. Sometimes as a medical profession or as an accountant, you can get away with just having 10% and you don't pay lender's mortgage insurance.
Really?
There are some lenders that will allow you to borrow up to 90% without paying lender's mortgage insurance. Okay.
Okay.
So
It's
that's
not aware of
something
that.
interesting, and that's very good. And
Mm.
on top of that, there are government grants which can assist you with the savings. But I'll discuss that later on. So having that goal to save, you have to set aside money per week. Depending on your budget that you when you sort out your finances, then you have to set out a budget per week on how much you're going to put aside. The third thing that I would suggest would be researching for your future home. You can do this by subscribing to websites. Joseph, you used to work for a
Right.
real
Yep.
estate company. So a real estate
Realestate.com.au.
company, yeah, a real estate company would alert you on upcoming auctions, on other matters like this place sold for this much. So researching your future home gives you auction results so that you're able to know about the latest auction reports. And this enables you to get a realistic picture of how much the properties are going for, whether it was an auction or a private sale. So once you have researched and you're aware of the house prices that you're looking at, or the property prices that you're looking at, also do research on your service providers. Your service providers would include your buyer's agent, if you need one,
Yep.
a mortgage broker, your real estate agent,
Yep.
your financial advisor, a solicitor or conveyancer, building inspectors. As I mentioned earlier, this is quite important as well, because you're making a purchase. If you're buying an established property, you might want to know whether that property was
hidden defects and all that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So termites and all that. Termite inspection is one of the services that you can get as well. Now, after you've done that, then you can make a short list of suitable properties. And I would encourage you to attend auctions, test travel times to work. If you're looking at this property, how much time will it take me from here to the bus stop? Or if you're driving to work, or you're going on a train. So these are the things you have to consider. It has to work for you and your lifestyle. These are the things that you have. Not only, oh, this house looks nice. You feel emotional about the house, but it's going to add another 30-40 minutes to your travel time going to work. Well, right now, there's a move to be people for working from home. So that's going to be maybe the
norm. Yep.
The new normal.
Yep.
And then the last thing that I would ask you to consider when buying a property is to get, this is one of the most important things, before you make an offer, you get a pre-approval, so that you have the confidence of attending an auction or making
an offer
on a private sale. Yes. These are the things. Yeah.
Okay.
So in this current situation, which do you think is more favorable for the buyer? Is it through an auction, or just buying with a real agent, a real estate agent?
John, when you make an offer, when you win in an auction, the sale is final. There's
I know, but
going back to it, no?
But what I mean is, say I have the pre-approved money, X amount of money, and then I'm ready to buy a house. How can I give more value for my money? Shall I do it through an auction, or shall I just buy
Yeah,
on-site?
It depends on the situation, whether you think what you're buying, you have to research the median house price in that area, no? And if the reserve price that you see in the selling price is low, why don't you make an offer? And if it is an accepted by private sale, then good for you. You don't have to go through the motion of going through one auction. So if you already have a pre-approval, you have the confidence of making a private offer, an offer for the property way
Yep.
before auction. Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So how about, okay, so now we're in August 2021, and you've been hearing a lot of these the government concessions for first home buyers. So at this stage, at this moment, what are the ones that are still available to buyers?
So stamp duty, for
Savings, yeah.
instance, stamp duty concession. Stamp duty has been abolished if you're a first home buyer. If it's your first time buying a property,
It's zero.
it's zero.
Okay.
It's
But
okay to stay.
the property has to be 600,000 or less.
Oh, okay. So there's a cap.
Okay.
So there's a cap.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Now, if your property that you're buying is between 600 to 750,000, then the stamp duty has been tapered and it slightly increases as the value of the house increases to 750. So it depends. So there is a sliding scale there as the stamp duty increases. So if there is a stamp duty calculator which you can use, and you can access that
Yep.
through the State Revenue Office. Okay.
Okay.
Now, previously, if you were buying off the plan, you only need to pay stamp duty on the land. Okay,
Yes.
that the land is sitting on. If you were buying property, this also, if you were buying an investment property, it also applied then. But now it's only available to owner-occupied homes. Okay, so if you're an owner-occupier, then it's called PPR of the plan concession. It's PPR OTP. That's a concession for stamp duty again on land. If you are going to build your first home on the land.
Okay.
This is outside the first homeowners grant, okay?
Okay.
If you get confused by that, so if you're buying your second home, for instance,
Yep.
and you're buying a house and land package,
Yep.
so you only pay stamp duty on the land if you're going to live in it.
Yep.
So for instance, you have a current property, okay? You own a property right now, so the FOG or the first homeowners grant does not apply to you anymore.
Of course. Yep.
Then you purchase house and land, and this is the OTP stamp duty concession.
Provided that that's going to be your residence.
Your owner-occupied home, yes.
Oh,
Correct.
okay. That's new. Okay.
Okay.
I haven't heard of that.
There is also what you call Homes Vic shared equity scheme. If you're having difficulty in saving up for a deposit and you only have 5% of the property value, and you have no other loans over $10,000, including credit card,
Car loans.
then the government shoulders the 15 to 20%, so you don't have to pay lender's mortgage insurance. But it's only available to the first 400 applicants. There's only 400 slots. It's called Homes Vic Shared Equity Scheme.
Okay.
So the government is infusing a lot of money to the property industry.
Correct.
So that housing dream of first home buyers would become a reality.
Correct. Yes, because we are being outpaced. The first home buyers are being outpaced by investors and other buyers. No, those who are, this is one way of the government assisting first home buyers. So okay, you only have 5% deposit. Let me share that scheme with you and provide you with the other 15 or 25% so that you don't have to pay lender's mortgage insurance. Okay.
So do you have any idea how successful is these government schemes?
It only started late last year, so there are 400 I am not aware of the number of applicants because it goes through an assessment process by the government.
But it's very popular, so to
Yes,
speak.
it's quite popular.
Yeah.
It's quite popular. So, so also one of the other things that you have to consider there is the applicant's income should not exceed 85,000 per year.
Okay.
Is that like couple? Let's say if you're husband and wife.
So if you're a couple, I think it's 107,000
Okay.
for the
Okay.
couple.
Got it.
Yeah. Now, what is the first homeowners grant? So first homeowners grant is if you and your partner are buying your first home, you have not owned a property, whether it was an investment property before, whether it was you or your wife or your partner, you will get 10,000 if you are buying a property in Melbourne. This is a new property, has not been occupied, never been occupied.
Yep.
Okay.
So
If
it
you're
can't
buying
be.
yeah, sorry.
It can be established. Oh, but it can be established, but it hasn't been lived
Occupied.
in. Occupied.
Yes,
Okay,
correct.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, if you were buying in regional Victoria, that grant is doubled. So it's $20,000 if you're buying in regional Victoria.
Yeah. Easy money, eh?
Yes.
It's
So
extra money.
So the government will give you not only stamp duty concessions, also $20,000 if you're buying
go
in
regional.
Victoria.
Yeah.
It's in regional. Okay.
Yes. I think it's good for our viewers, listeners. They get a lot of information, but the main thing is for them to act, isn't it? And act fast.
Absolutely. The first thing is really the things I said previously, it's really saving up and knowing what your expenses are, because you wouldn't want to go into debt and your lifestyle changes because you cannot afford it. You cannot afford it. The banks and the lenders are very strict right now. Let's say that the interest rates are 2%. When they do an assessment of your servicing capacity, they actually price it a lot higher than that. Okay, so that when interest rates rise, you can still afford to pay your loan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
So pretty much that's it. So okay. Any more questions, John? Think of anything?
I think that's very substantial, given of the wind outside. And
Oh, here's
we lost Joel, but it's nice to hear you again. It's been a while that we did not see or talk with each other, but the professional information as well as the knowledge in your chosen industry is always there.
okay.
Yes.
And
I'll be happy to answer any of your tribe's questions.
Yep.
Just send them to me.
Yes.
You have my contact details,
We'll
Joseph. And
your site, we'll be putting it a link on our description, and also your number. We'll be
Yes.
putting it, and for them
unfortunately, the site is still under construction.
under construction.
But when you go into it, you will see that it's under construction. But my contact details are there.
They're there. And I'm also going to put your mobile number for them to get in touch with you. So
Yes.
for parking, how's the market?
It's very hot at the moment. People are actually trying to move to regional Victoria because of COVID.
So that's the trend you're seeing, okay?
Yeah, that's the trend I'm seeing. But it's quite it's amazing that at the end of the day, people still want to have their home. They don't want to pay rent. They want to have their home, and there are a lot of ways, and I can assist there in sorting out so that you can enter your home. Yeah.
Okay. So most definitely, Joel, probably we'll have you again in the future. Probably this time talking about investment property. I'm sure that's another whole episode.
Yes,
That
that's a lot of cross securitization. So when you have your property, how do you get your next property?
Okay.
Those
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Okay. So
Sounds familiar.
look forward to that. Okay. So again, thank you, Joel, for taking time off and joining us in my on our tribe. So to all of you, thank you for watching. See you next week. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Bye.
See you next time. Bye.
Thank you.